holding up so far?
Going well, surviving.
Have you had to do anything differently, JC? Because you've had some bad luck injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you done to do whatever you could to avoid those things?
Nothing. I mean, I think it causes more problems if you start thinking about it too much. I mean, all of them have been, freaky contact injuries where no matter who was in that position, that's going to happen. So I think if you get stuck thinking about that or changing what you do, all it's going to do is cause you to worry about it, and you're not going to play fast, and that's what you need to do out there. So I haven't changed my mentality at all.
How do you not think about those? Because like I said, they are just freakish. So how do you not think about those?
Yeah, I mean, you just need to understand that this is a contact sport, this is a physical sport, and things like that are going to happen. And I've had my unlucky breaks so far, but you just need to play football. That's what you're out there to do, and you're not going to play up to your potential if you're worried about injuries.
We talked to Joel Bitonio the other day. I mean, he gave you a pretty high compliment. He referred to your intelligence as a center as Alex Mack-like in the fact of the ability to read defenses, make protection calls, and those type of things. Can you talk about that aspect of the game and why that appears to be one of your strengths?
Yeah, I think obviously 4 years of experience. Coming from a system in which the center had a lot of responsibility, and I was lucky enough to be around guys like T.J. Lang and Josh Sitton, and of course Aaron, who knew a lot and passed down a lot of information. So a lot of it's just being able to see a lot of things, and I think as you get older and you've seen a lot of defenses, you kind of understand what they're doing quicker than when you were younger. So obviously the amount of experience I've had and the amount of time I've been in the league has helped me kind of see what they're doing before they're going to do it.
That intellectual part of the game for the position, do you think that that's something that's underrated? Maybe not for you or for coaches, but just when people talk about center, that's not something that a lot that is talked about.
I think it's a huge part of the position. I think it's a huge part of the job description, and a lot of it's taking the onus off the rest of the guys. You need to come up there, and my job is, in my mind, to make sure everybody knows what they're doing, who they've got, and that way they can play fast. If they're not up there trying to piece together the picture, if you can go up there and tell them what they're looking at, all of a sudden they can go and just play football, and that's when you get a team, playing fast and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Is that even more exemplified when you go from snapping the ball to Aaron Rodgers to a rookie, like any rookie, but in this case, Deshaun?
No, I was in charge of the centers were in charge of the line calls in Green Bay. It wasn't Aaron's job there. Aaron was worried about the pass plays and the pass protections and things like that. But it was the offensive line's job and the center's job to put the lineman in the position to be successful. So it's no different.
Yeah, let me ask you another way. What's it like going from playing with Aaron Rodgers to help breaking in a rookie like?
I don't see it as any different. I think our job is to protect forever on pass plays and give him as much time as possible, and on run plays it's to move the ball. And obviously it's only going to help when you can put a run game out there that produces ahead of schedule downs for players. But I don't look at whoever's back there, whether it's a future Hall of Famer, a rookie, a wildcat quarterback, whoever's back there. Our job is to open up holes for the run game and protect as long as we can.
What did you learn from playing with Aaron?
I mean, a lot of it's just his recall of certain blitzes and what teams have done, and being able to bring up something we talked about once in a meeting 4 months ago and put it in during a game. That recall, I think, makes everybody think the same way he does. So a lot of it's on the fly problem solving and understanding different things we've done to similar defenses in the past, and being able to explain that to the guys on the fly. Things like that. He's just a very, very savvy, smart player. So a lot of that rubs off on the guys he plays with.
I know you said the calls were different, but I mean, how important is that relationship between the quarterback and his center?
It's really important. I mean, that's the center's the quarterback of the offensive line, and I try to talk to all the quarterbacks as much as possible about different calls, about different things I'm seeing, and what my first thought is, to see if we're on the same page, just so we can play fast and move things along. So I try to talk to each one of them, every day, just to try to get everybody on the same page. And hey, what's your first thought on this check? And that way I can try to take some things off his mind, where if he knows, all right, JC's got it, like I can worry about the next thing because he'll be on the same page as me before I have to say anything. It just makes his job easier.
From a chemistry standpoint, you guys are adding 2 brand new guys. You've got the right tackle coming together as well. How do you think that the process of solidifying as an offensive line is going?
I think it's going well. I think things like this, the walkthroughs and the meeting room time, I think that's vital. Communication's the biggest part. And being on the same page, knowing the calls and kind of knowing how everybody's going to treat a certain call. So, if I call this, what is your footwork going to look like? So a lot of that is, you get the reps in fundamental and individual period, but a lot of it's just talking through it in the meeting room. Like if I call this, what are you going to do? And then that going forward. So I think it's going well so far, and obviously we've got guys coming back from injury, so we've got limited team reps together. But we make up for it with how much we meet together and talk through different assignments.
From the right tackle standpoint, I know that you're one guy removed with Kevin being the right, but have you noticed a difference from one guy to another in the right tackle battle there?
I think they're both playing great, honestly. I think they both come out, excited about the opportunity they have, and I think they're both playing physical, playing hard. And exciting to watch. Each day you go in there and both those guys, whoever's in there, is making huge blocks on that backside, and it's been a joy to watch.
When you were playing college ball, was the NFL your goal? Was that?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to play professional sports growing up and going to college. Obviously, I was not set up for the most usual trip to the NFL, but when I wanted to be an NFL tight end when I was playing tight end, and then moved to left tackle when I wanted to be an NFL offensive lineman. So that was always the goal, and obviously the amount of guys from the Ivy League are going up. How many people make it to the league, but it's still limited. But you always think that's a possibility, and that's what your main goal is.
When did it become real?
I think after my junior year, which was my first year at playing offensive line, I think everything kind of slowed down, and I kind of understood the position. It was my first time playing it. And I just felt really confident and comfortable in that position for my senior year, and that's when a lot of the interest started piling up.
So did you have a chance to go to more of a football school then, or when you chose Cornell, or did you? That would have probably been maybe not easier path, but
no. Cornell was my first choice coming out. I wanted to go there. I had family had gone there. I had a sister there. They were my number one choice. So I knew I wanted to get a great education, and that way I was set up for life, whether the NFL materialized or not. And then it was just about working hard on the football field and seeing what happened.
what did you study?
Industrial labor relations.
So what was it like to play for a home game there? How many people?
I'd probably say on average it was around 5,000 to 7,000. It's a different atmosphere. It's not LSU, it's not Auburn or Alabama. It's it's a quieter atmosphere. But the thing I loved about it was everybody who's there isn't on scholarship. They're there playing because they love playing football. So the guys that you play with and the guys you line up next to, are some of the greatest guys you'll meet in your life. They just love playing football, and they want to go to a great school as well as continue playing a game they loved. So it was I wouldn't change anything I did.
Turn down a bigger school?
Nope. Nope. I took my first official visit was to Cornell, and I signed in I think late November or early December. So yep.
And what about the club? How many Cornell guys have gone to the NFL? I apologize for that.
We've had Kevin Booth, who just I think retired this past year. Was offensive lineman. Won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. Brian Walters has been down in Jacksonville for a few years in Seattle. Those were the last 2 recent NFL active roster guys.
You know how many total?
I don't know over the years. Yeah, no, those are the most recent though.
It's got to be an element of pride, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody takes pride in it who makes it out of the Ivy League, and obviously we have a big segment of Ivy League players here on this team. We've got a lot of guys here, and yeah, exactly. So it's definitely an element of pride.
You say industrial labor relations. What's the plan after?
Originally, it was pre-law. I was going to go to law school. So a lot depends on how long I play. I'm hoping I don't have to, but if I get bored, then I'll decide to head back to school. But
I see you in 15 years negotiating the next CBA.
maybe we'll see. We'll see about that.